Hello, everyone. In honor of this Shabbat, special Shabbat, Shabbat Shlach, that is telling a special story about the land of Israel, and it's basically the first encounter of the Jewish people with the land of Israel as a nation. Jewish people sending spies to the land of Israel to explore, to see, and also this day, actually, it's a special day, the 23rd of Sivan. It's one of the dates that mentioned specifically in the Torah, in the book of Esther, in the times of Purim. It's the day that the king Achashverosh let Mordechai, the leader of the Jewish people, to write anything he wants, and the king will agree. So it's a day with a history to Persia. And I would like to mention and to talk about those topics in short, to explain something important regarding our parasha and the situation that we are in. The parasha telling the story of Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, choosing 12 representatives from the Jewish nation, basically representing all the Jewish people, going to the land of Israel. So in English, there is the word to tour a place, come and tour, to be a tourist. It's actually coming from the Hebrew word tour. Again, as well, the word in Hebrew tour is to explore. And then they becoming basically explorers of the land of Israel, becoming spies. Why Moshe sending them? In order to understand the land, understand the people, meaning to see how good is this land, and also how hard is this land to conquer. Now, there is the question why you need to explore. God promised you this land. Why you need to gather information? There is a promise of God to receive this land. Why you need to send messages at all? And this question we will not go into in length. I will just mention it that Moshe wanted the Jewish people to become a bit enthusiastic about the land of Israel. That's why they sent those messengers. The messengers came to the land of Israel, took from its fruits, big fruits. Every fruit was very needed one to carry, at least one. And they traveled back to the people camping in the desert and telling them, listen, this land, it's have strange experience. What we have experienced there, it was very strange, very stressful, very hard. We saw giants and they were burying people. People died, and it's very hard place to live in. That was in short the answer. Basically, the Jewish people said no, we cannot do it. And until the excitement and the disappointment and the feelings became so strong, until basically they came to the conclusion even God cannot carry us, bring the Jewish people to the land of Israel and win all the wars. And the question is very simple. Of course, Moshe Rabbeinu chose the right people to the mission. And of course, they were righteous and believers. What happened? And if we will make this question more specific, how can a nation experience and go through enormous miracles, the 10 plagues of Egypt, the splitting of the sea, until the highest moment of receiving the Torah, that they heard the voice of God, that they saw the power of God, to go through all this, and then coming messengers saying, listen, this God could have done, but to win the nations living in Israel, we cannot. Why? How a nation can be convinced after seeing all those miracles that we cannot go to the next step to the land of Israel? How come? It doesn't make any sense that after winning Pharaoh with all his army, and after winning Amalek, And after so many experiences that they have gone through, that they are now getting so confused and disbelief in God, in the power of God, and then they can say, no, this can, but the land of Israel, God cannot bring us to the land of Israel. Why is it? This is the simplest question, and we will go straight to the answer. First level of the answer will be, listen, this is the power of fear. Fear can paralyze you. You're not thinking straight, you're hysterical. The messengers, the spies, came back from the land of Israel and brought fear to the nation. And when there is fear, you have no one to talk to. And this is true. But the question is, how come they were frightened? From what? Because we know the power of God. We know that God can do miracles, unbelievable miracles. And it's not as they saying there is no God. They became atheist. They're not believing in God. They saw God. They experienced God. They didn't even say that there is no God. They said, no, they are stronger. How come? So the answer would be that we need to understand, what does that mean to go to the land of Israel? What does that mean to the people, to the new nation? After a year and a half living in the desert, year and a half after going out of Egypt, they still remember, of course, everything, all the miracles. This nation living just received the Torah, experiencing daily miracles. They living inside the clouds, surrounding them, protecting them, guiding them, and giving them directions where to go. They see the miracles of the tabernacle, of the Mishkan, where God's light dwell, and they hear Torah from Moses, that he's a holy person. They drinking water from the well of Miriam, this traveling river that going with them to any station that they're going. They're eating the man every day, manna coming from heaven. They saying the blessing, Amotzi lechem min hashamayim, that God give us bread from heaven. They have miracle in a daily basis. This is the life of Jewish nation. They never had a different life, because before that they were in Egypt, not a nation. They were slaves. The Jewish nation at the time were a nation that experiencing miracles in a daily basis. Now they know that the goal is to go to the land of Israel. This is the goal. What does that mean? We will go to the land of Israel, and what? And then you will do the full package of Torah mitzvot you will have. Now you're learning about that. You're doing some of it. But when you will go to the land of Israel, you have all the laws of the land, of fruits and vegetables, and how to grow them, and what is kosher and what is not, and how to go to work, and how to keep Shabbat. In the desert, they didn't experience the full life of Torah mitzvot, because they didn't have fields, they didn't have to work. To go to the land of Israel meant to become a normal person. And the purpose of it is to live like a normal person. And we don't have any more food from heaven. If you want food, you need to work on it, to grow it from the land. If you need water to drink, you will need to dig up a well in your land. And if you will, someone will come and try to steal your money, there will not be clouds to protect you. And after all this, you will need to find time to learn Torah. Because in the desert, they had all day time to learn Torah. Not only to learn Torah from the teacher of all teachers, from Moshe Rabbeinu, that heard the Torah straight from God. In Israel, they will not have time to learn Torah. They have 15 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, after a full day of work. It's not easy. It's very hard Jewish life. Of course, it's to have your own land and your own country and your own king. But it's coming with a lot of work. And the work is to basically to make Torah mitzvot, to make it, to do it, and to do it in a physical world. In the desert, they like living in heaven. No food concerns, no any physical material concerns. In the land of Israel, the purpose is to have all material concerns, all challenges of regular life, and there to make Torah mitzvot. And why is that? Because this is the purpose that God created the world. God created the world not that He will have nation living in the clouds in the desert where there's no one. He wanted the people to be involved with regular life, and there they should make to be a good. There they will be good Jews, and they will fulfill Torah and mitzvot. What does that mean if we think about it? And this is what the spies and the Jewish people did. They thought about it. And it means something very simple. It means that we will not have those miracles. And it means that there will be no splitting of the sea, and no 10 plagues, and no any kind of those miracles that were basically opposite nature. They were supernatural. So if God will stop making those miracles, can we go to the land of Israel and win the wars? No, we cannot. Basically, this is the simple answer. They thought that from now on will be no miracles, because miracles were fit to the desert and going out of Egypt and receiving the Torah. That this is like heaven. But when we will enter the land of Israel, that it means that from now on we are people of the land. Our mission is to make and to keep Torah and mitzvot while living natural life, no miracle life. We cannot win those wars in those terms. Until now, we have supernatural power, God. From now on, God will stop, and then we will be natural. We will be dependent on natural terms, and there we cannot win those wars. That was the mistake of the spies. And this is how they convinced the Jewish people. Now, the spies were right or wrong? They were wrong. But why? What they didn't know. The spies didn't know that miracles have few levels and few kinds. The level that they were used to is the level of supernatural miracles, meaning they are above nature. They even breaking nature. They are not fit with nature. It shows that if nature is a barrier, is an obstacle, God overcome it, because God is above nature. And in this, they are right. God cannot perform these miracles according to the rules that He have given, that when you enter in the land of Israel, you should be natural. But what they didn't know is that there is something above it. If I'm saying that I am stronger than something, and then I'm breaking it to show I'm strong, it's true, you are strong. But the true strength is the power. The true strength is the power to use this something that I'm stronger than. For example, God saying that He is the creator of heaven and earth. It doesn't mean that every time that He need to perform His miracles, He need to break earth in order to do a miracle. No, it means that He can use earth. He can use earth to do this miracle. He is the manager of the physical world, and the world is part of the miracles. Again, let's say that a miracle is something that is showing God's strength. Now, God can show His strength while breaking nature or overcoming nature, or He can show strength, He can show the power of God if God ordering, managing nature that it will fit according to his will. For example, is the miracle of Purim. The miracle of Purim, everything there is natural. The king killed his queen, and he chose a new queen, and Esther got chosen. And Mordechai heard the two ministers speaking with each other, and he understood. And he told his niece Esther, and she told the king. And then Esther managed everything in order to, and the king didn't sleep, and he read the story of Mordechai. And basically, it's all natural. But if you're taking the bigger picture, you see that it's a great and big miracle altogether. It means that the true power of God is to manage and to control nature that will be according to his will. This is the kind of miracles that God is doing today. Now, it's dependent in the power of the people, of course. It means that if the people will not do, will now be miracles. No, it doesn't. If Esther will not decide to do what she did, God will find a different natural way, as it's stated clearly in the Megillah, as Mordechai telling Esther, if you not do it, God will find someone else. But you can be part of it, part of this natural nature, manly dependent on humans. So this was the mistakes of the spies and all the Jewish people, that they did not know the true power of miracles and the true control that God have on nature. If we going back to our day, 23rd of Sivan, that Ahasuerus, the king of Persia, declared that everyone must do as Mordechai wants. This is a great miracle according to nature. It looks nature, but the deeper meaning of it, it's a great miracle. When we see Israeli soldiers, IDF, flying to Iran and coming back, and the amazing planning that the Mossad did and everything, all those amazing things, we can think that this is great job of a great people, and this is true. It's great job of great people that dedicating their life to the security of the people of Israel. And we can admire those people, and this is true. And we can respect those people, and this is true, because every one of them did his choice and doing a great job performing what he decided to do. But behind all this is God's miracle. God showing his miracles through those people. And we should remember it, because that was the mistake of Jewish people when they talked about the land of Israel. They did not understood that land of Israel is a land full of miracles. But the miracles are not disconnected from the world. You don't need to break the world. God will not do again the splitting of the sea. But he will make the people do greater miracles even than the splitting of the sea. Because the people doing it, going straight to Iran and coming back safe and sound, this is a great miracle that God giving the power of people to do it. And this is the way that God revealing his powers. We actually every day experiencing miracles. We just need to see them. This is the idea of this parasha. Of course, it's also, if we're talking about Jewish life, sometimes we feel Jewish life is a miracle. To be observant Jew in 2025 is a miracle. To do mitzvah is a miracle. And we think that in order to do this mitzvah, we need to disconnect it from the world, to go inside the clouds where no one can see, like inside the synagogue. Here I can be a Jew. Outside, to do the mitzvot, it's already combining two worlds, two separate worlds, the worlds of miracles and the worlds of nature. And the truth is that this is the mission, to connect the world of miracles with the world of nature together. This is the mission. This is why God created the Jewish nation as a nation. And he wants them to go to work hard in the field or go hard in the company and be successful. But together with it, perform the miracle of Judaism. Be a great Jew while you inside the work, not only when you are in synagogue between the clouds in the desert. This is the mission of the Jewish nation. Let's summarize these 2 points. The first point is to recognize that everything happening in the light, in the last days, and actually, if you're going through all this war and previous wars, everything is a miracle. We don't see why also bad things happening and why, but we don't understand everything. But of course, there is great miracles, and we should recognize them and be thankful for them and publish them and talk about it and understand them in our heads that there is miracles today. The miracles are not revealed as miracles in the time of Moshe, but they are revealed if you open your eyes, and this is the way God doing miracles today. Now, in addition to that, in addition to understand this in your head, a person should understand that it's the same thing in his life, like God connecting miracles in earth, heaven and earth together. Also, a Jew should connect spiritual and physical life, not to separate them, to know the power, to be a great Jew while you're out in your work, in the field. And this is the message from our parasha. L'chaim, l'chaim. Shabbat shalom.